dramatic life change. Dramatic life change is possible when you talk about those things that you're just not totally comfortable talking about. I am Julie Jordan Scott, the Creative Life Midwife, and I'm so excited that you're here to watch this video. If you will do me a favor, take a moment to subscribe, and if you would, make a comment about what brought you to this video today. Like, what made you curious? Just let me know that. At the end, there will be a writing prompt for you and another call for you to write in the comments. Just one comment is great, but like this, subscribe, take a deep breath, and we'll walk along this journey together. I'm so grateful you're here. Sometimes the most effective ways to approach untalkaboutables for the creative is to first write or draw or paint or sketch or doodle around the untalkaboutable. So I decided to take on one of the most common and discombobulating and discomforting untalkaboutable of all. In this case, I wrote about it, and I'll have a prompt for you at the end as well. I have to confess that as I am preparing to talk about this, I am literally feeling more and more uncomfortable in my gut. Because one of the things as I prepared to write yesterday, I wrote in my blog, and I have a cheat sheet right here. I wrote, if I don't say it aloud, if I can't say this untalkaboutable aloud, then it can't be true. And as soon as I say it aloud, or as soon as I write it on the paper, then it becomes true. And that's horribly scary. So it's taken me a few moments here to warm up to write. Or not even to write, I already wrote, to warm up, to speak it aloud, to talk about it. And isn't that the critical part of this process, the critical part of the sharing? Wow, I was not expecting this to happen. So here is the actual untalkaboutable itself that I used as a writing prompt. I call it the premise and the not so happy prompt. People will reject me. I don't want to. And I can't survive being abandoned. Now here's the good news. As I was writing into that prompt, I came to an affirmative statement that I could use. As I was writing, that would make me feel centered and calm. The irony is, between the time I wrote yesterday and now, I had totally forgotten, even though I just saw it 5 minutes ago when I was preparing to make this video. That is the power of the old narrative and the untalkaboutable and all of that stuff, even for someone who's been doing this work for how many years? So I trust that gives you freedom and knowledge and awareness that you may approach and choose to approach and approach over and over again, because the fact that I'm recording this means I've gone back to the work and I am re-devoting myself to the end result. Talking about what up to now has been pretty darn untalkaboutable. So this is what I've been doing. Okay, I'm just going to read. Are you ready? This is what I wrote about that prompt that I just spoke. I used the 5 for 5 brain dump method to do this, by the way, which is a 5-minute container, 5-minute prompted writing, timer on, go. I'm so uncomfortable approaching this topic. I'm going to use the phrase above repeatedly in my writing, so if I veer off course with it, which is avoidance, I will plug it back in. Here's the thing, it isn't true, but for the majority of my life, I've been acting as if it is true, and I've had enough of it. I know that you and I both have a purpose and a mission to fulfill, and mine is anything but being afraid of being abandoned, because I have learned I won't be. Because over the years, people I thought I could trust have abandoned me, yet I was never alone. My mind is flashing back to a Davy and Goliath episode from long past, perhaps my favorite one, because Davy was on a train and it was like the train was speaking to him. God is everywhere. God is everywhere. And if the God word bothers you, just plug in whatever you believe in instead. Perhaps love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. And in fact, beloveds, I might scoop up that mantra and carry it with me from now on. Because I know above all, people will not reject me. I thrive when I recognize I am living according to the purpose I was born to fulfill. How invigorating this is for me and for you too, because I believe we all have a purpose, a mission, a reason. Perhaps part of mine is to tell you about talking about whatever it is you think is too scary to speak will take you along a path of extraordinary freedom. So when you finally talk about it, you will be extraordinarily free. Who thought when I started with the line, people will reject me, I don't want to, can't survive being abandoned, that my writing would end with freedom? My norm, you see, is to scoot off course when I write something that scares me, but today was different. Maybe it is because I was holding my purpose in my heart, and I was holding you. I was holding you in my words as they flowed from me. The timer went off then, the 5-minute timer I was talking about. Right as I said, freedom with a question mark. That's pretty affirmative, isn't it? Because love is everywhere. I may open my heart and trust divine timing now. Whew. So here's your prompt. Well, yes, here is your prompt. Okay, beloved one, it's time for your prompt. Are you ready? I would like for you to think about a time when you couldn't speak about something. Maybe it was a time that you didn't want to talk about being left out or being abandoned or being forgotten. Or maybe for you it's something totally different. But just think about that. Think about that and hold it right here in your heart. And then start with writing a sentence. Just sketching a sentence. If you're feeling brave, set a timer for 5 minutes and write for 5 minutes. But at least write a sentence about what that was and how it felt. Please do me a favor and let me know. Let me know how it goes. In the comments, just say a word or two. Even say, if you want, I can't do this quite yet, or I love this concept, or I'm trying this tonight. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to walk with you through your untalkabouts. We're in this together, you and me. Thanks for watching.